Um, Not necessarily, end of the world stuff. Obviously, this is something we've already discussed with the DNA related stuff. Just make sure for DNA, because if you did take that person's DNA, that'd be a violation of their rights. So
Yeah.
violent felonies only. Clearly, assault with a deadly weapon, attempted murders, um, stuff like that. So you want
Yep.
to ensure that you are only taking DNA in those situations. The other thing was when the individual was on the side of the highway, you did indicate that you were going to frisk them. Um, Once a person is under arrest, you no longer have to frisk. You can search.
Oh, okay. Yep.
You
Sweet.
don't have to. The thing is, you can, and most times I would encourage you to still go down the route of frisking an individual because um, let's say something came up where the individual in question ended up being somebody who wasn't actually involved in the situation, right? But let's say this person who you, in good faith, suspected was the person in question. You frisk them, you find that they have a gun. You then, they're in cuffs at this point. Then you frisk. You then realize this gun doesn't have a serial number. Um, you know, eh, but afterwards you find out the individual was not the person to be placed under arrest. Um, and you were operating under good faith, that arrest would still be legitimate on the basis that during a frisk, when you had RS to frisk somebody, you then ended up getting stuff. But because we're on the side of the highway, in that case, you really should have just frisked them, especially because it was the driver. There's no way that they weren't involved or anything like that. Um, so
Yeah. Yeah.
so in
I'm
especially
not
because it
like.
side of the highway type
Dispatch
deal.
162 today.
Probably
Yeah.
not worth going through the frisking portion. Uh, just to be clear, you don't have to frisk when somebody's already under arrest, especially when you get into like the driver of a vehicle who very clearly did something wrong versus a passenger who may step out and immediately surrender and be like, "Hey, I ain't got nothing to do with this. I was just in the car or whatever."
Hmm.
Definitely, if it's blatantly clear that the person's under arrest, you can just go ahead and search them.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not definitely not trying to make excuses or anything here, but I think my thought process behind frisking him was this: we were on the highway. There was so many cars coming, and I just thought like I just want to quickly pat him down, grab the weapon, and just that's that, you know.
Honestly,
And
you know what? That's not a bad train of thought. Because if you had frisked them and you didn't feel anything, you're not wrong. For me, the entire purpose of getting them searched
yeah, yeah,
was just to ensure they didn't have weapons, even though they're cuffed. Who knows? Sometimes things happen. It is what it is. Just don't. Not just don't. I can understand your train of thought because if you didn't feel anything, then you wouldn't even have to
then I
search
just throw
them.
him straight in the car.
Correct.
Yeah, yeah,
Though you get into some questionable territory because somebody may have like a screwdriver or lockpicks on their person that you may not necessarily feel as a weapon. But uh, I'll tell you now, nobody's getting into my car with any sort of thing that can be utilized as a weapon, whether that's a knife or wrench. And they're not getting into my vehicle with anything that could potentially help them out, whether that be lockpicks, screwdrivers, or anything of the sort.
yeah. That
Um,
is true. Yeah.
so just a heads up regarding the cuffing issue you were having. That the reality here is that's you just sort of trying to get your cuffs back into its original position. So if you were to cuff me right now, or go ahead.
Hmm. You're
All
under arrest.
right, try cuffing me again.
Huh. Yeah. This is
You
exactly what was
gotta. You're
happening.
you're just trying to you're trying to get your cuffs back in back into a position which you can swing them back onto them. Okay, so you keep trying
Yeah.
if you'd like. There we go.
Yeah.
All
So I
right, so
kind of just
that's
have to.
you. I mean, like I said, you tried swinging it onto them the first time. What you're doing is you may have gotten, or you may have thought you got one on. They slipped out. You got to make sure you're swinging that cuff all the way back around to be ready to get swung along their arm the next time.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. 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 I'm picking up what you're putting down.
And the other thing is two things. um, Very, very, very rarely is there going to be a situation where an individual not in cuffs is going to be escorted. Even if you're
So that
communicating it to
was.
them, you want
Yeah.
to
I thought
ensure.
in my eyes he was cuffed. That's all.
Ah, okay. I can
Yeah,
see the
yep.
confusion
So
there then.
yeah.
Fair enough.
In my eyes, I thought
I just wanted to clarify that just in case it wasn't
yeah, that was
understood.
something that was clarified very a lot to us as well in the academy.
Yep.
So yeah,
And
definitely was.
then
Yeah.
the last thing actually isn't in reference to this pursuit. It was the prior one. When I was primary at the time, following through alleyways. You made a 90-degree turn directly in front of me when I was a little behind, and I had to come to a complete stop to allow you to make that 90-degree turn.
Yeah, I did notice
I
that. That's my
lost
bad.
all my speed as a result, and then you also crashed out, blocking me from going through. Standard
So
practice essentially is if somebody is primary and they are within reasonable distance of the vehicle being pursued, under no circumstances do you cut them off. The only time it is acceptable is if a parallel unit, if whoever's in primary has a considerable amount of distance from the person being chased, and a parallel unit comes upon that person, and needs to take over comms or whatever the situation is, or take over primary in the pursuit. But outside of that, you want to ensure that you are not jumping into primary, um, pretty much because of exactly what had occurred in this situation. We did briefly lose them. Obviously, we did eventually regain visual, but just keep that in mind. It is
yeah.
not good pursuit etiquette to take over in situations like that.
Yep. No, that's fair enough. Yeah, I usually it's definitely I usually don't do that. I think it was more of a I looked at my like when I was on the straight there and you were in the alleyway before you hopped over the street to go into the next alleyway. I'm not sure if you like came to a momentarily like stop there or what happened, but I looked at my GPS there and I thought you were a bit more further behind, and then I think what it was is that I wasn't just go. I kind of just was held hesitant, and then when I did go, you caught up to me. So yeah, it's
Yeah,
definitely
the
a
Taurus
fault on
has a
my
lot
behalf.
of low end acceleration. And in
Yeah.
order to not throw the Taurus out, sometimes we have to intentionally take especially uneven road. The Taurus does not like to handle very well. So when we're going through those alleyways that are considerably uneven, and then you have to take into account specifically in this case, the ramp into that
Mm,
alleyway goes up. So I had to come to a very I pretty much had to slow down a considerable amount.
yep.
And I would have essentially picked up directly after that with no issue. Um, and a lot of times what you did probably wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world. And not that it was the worst thing in the world, to be clear. It's just that the 90-degree turn in front of somebody who's on a straight behind them, that'll almost never
Yeah.
be like unless the person on the straight is being blocked by somebody. It's almost never going to be worth making that 90-degree turn in front of any unit that's behind the vehicle being pursued. So definitely
Yeah,
keep
that's
that in
it. Yeah,
mind.
I will do. Yeah. I
Perfect.
mean, I'm still obviously. I guess the reason why they made me a PBO is because I've got the foundational stuff down pat. Especially pursuits as well. That is foundational, but yeah, like I said, it's just a bit of a misjudgment on my behalf there. That usually is
It
what
happens,
occurs
man.
for me.
As a PPO, you're going to make mistakes, and it's our jobs as FTOs to make sure that when those mistakes are seen, that we correct you. This isn't me being like,
Yep.
you're fucking up, you're not going to be a PPO. It's me being, for
Of course.
example, when I heard you were getting the DNA kit, um, I was going to ask over radio, but I was in the middle of something, and I was like, you know what, I'll just wait until he returns. Because I was going to
Yep.
be like, oh, did they consent to their DNA being taken? And
Yeah.
that's one of the things where we'll, as FTOs, we'll step in because somebody's rights could be violated. But if it's not a
Yep.
situation where someone's rights are going to be violated, we don't necessarily mind those mistakes being made. We just don't, if we have the opportunity to correct before rights are violated, we will.
Yeah.
Again, teachable moments, right? I don't anticipate that you're gonna attempt to swab somebody's DNA for a nonviolent felony moving forward, right? Like
Yeah. Exactly.
you've already
Yeah. Definitely.
acknowledged the escorting the person who wasn't in cuffs, and that's solely because you thought they were. Um,
Mm.
you will. I'm not sure if you've seen when you do cuff somebody, um, you can pretty quickly acknowledge that they were. So if you go ahead and cuff me, I won't resist here.
Oh,
Right,
no, sorry.
there we go. Right there. See that?
Yeah.
That is that is how you'll know that the individual, you lock those cuffs on them.
So if I uncuff you then here, can you just resist it?
Nope. So the first time you uncuff, you're taking the shackles off. Second time,
Yeah.
you're taking the cuffs
Oh
off.
no. Yeah, what I mean is that, like, can I cuff you again, and can you try and resist it, just so I can see what it kind of looks like?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I know what you mean
Right
now.
here.
That's
Now give it a moment, reset those cuffs, and then try it again, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Just give it a second. We've gone through those cuffs quite a bit now.
Yeah, give it a second.
Oh, apologies. Sorry.
Right.
Put it this way: when somebody's resisting, it seems relatively fluid. Relatively fluid. Not much is being interrupted. But you will very quickly see, and I'm gonna make sure that I fuck up this, resisting at the very beginning, so it's very apparent. As soon as you can. There we go.
Okay.
Right there.
Yeah,
Perfect. Because then you're
yeah.
swinging my arms to the back here, and
Yeah.
you
I
see the
definitely know what you
visual
mean, yeah.
indicator, right?
Yep.
Perfect. That way you don't have to second guess whether or not, I mean, hell, I could sit here and do this and pretend I'm cuffed, but I ain't,
Yeah. That's also another good thing that, okay. I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, definitely just keep that in mind. Keep it in mind.
Do a lot of people do that?
Not very often. It has happened on occasion.
Yeah.
Now, what's this? I think we're good. I did throw all of the stuff in the locker, by the way.
Okay. Yep.
So
By the way,
all of that should be sorted.
Who was that female that was just in here before?
That's Jenny Hall. She's one of the auditors.
Okay. Yep.
Coming through and asking questions, essentially. You're more than willing to speak to her, by the way. It's essentially a means of us communicating, things that we perceive as like not ideal or maybe even problematic, with systems we currently have in place. Like in your case, for example, you've gone through the cadet fate. Well, not entirely, but you're now a PPO. And I bet, not that I bet, I know for a fact you dealt with the fact that FTOs, couldn't take you out. Because the reality here is a lot of FTOs in Shift 3 specifically, we are just burnt out, not as a result of training, but just as the day-to-day from the month and a half prior of being severely understaffed. And even though training people obviously will help alleviate that issue, if we ain't got much flame in us, it's a little difficult to have enough energy.
Which is
exactly. Like we know that it would help, but at the same time, like if we can't do our normal day-to-day, we're just going to be miserable. And if that's something you want to communicate to Jenny, she's a wonderful person. Just communicating to her what you suspect or believe to be problematic areas in the police department at the moment, from the perspective of a newer, higher, cadet going through the process, you should absolutely speak to her.
I might do that. Yeah, I might actually do that.
Here, let me give her a call.
Take that call. Oh, you give her a call? Yeah.
Yeah. I'll let her know.
Hello.
Hey, Jenny, how's it going?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm good. I have a PPO, Jack Lawson, who would like to have a conversation with you.
That's fine.
It was the one that was in the cells when you had walked by.
Perfect. If he wants to and you want to come, you can be with him. If you don't want to be, it's up to him. I'm in the room, the records room.
Okay, perfect.
We had our meeting.
All right, sounds good. I'll let him know.
Soon.
Right, bye.
Okay, bye.
All right, so she's upstairs in the records room, which is like if you were to walk through the main doors of Mission Row into the lobby, the room immediately to the left that's got like all the windows, and the big table. I believe she's at that table right now.
No worries.
She'll be waiting for you, and be honest. Don't hold back.
well,
because
yeah.
they're trying to identify problematic areas that hopefully can be resolved.
Yeah, sweet. I'll do that now.
All right,
Thanks, Rhodes.
perfect. Not a problem. If you have any questions, Lawson, I'm not kidding. If you have a question, don't hesitate to ask. I promise.
Yeah, of
I
course.
promise
I
we
do-
will never have an issue with questions.
Actually, I do have a question.
Yeah, what's up?
Just a quick one. So regarding, I do hear a lot on the radio. People will pull a vehicle over and then straight away
Yep.
they'll go, "Oh, it's flag 1060, right?"
Yep.
Now, how they get like the only way I can see that a vehicle's flag 1060 is if I go up to it and I run the plate.
Correct.
So are they checking it in their vehicle somehow, or because I'm manually just looking at it?
Oh my
I'm
god.
going, okay,
No,
and then-
this is important. Come with me.
Yeah.
So, you should be able to do this in my vehicle as well as passenger. So your life is going to get considerably easier here.
Oh my god, yes.
All
Can we
right.
get in?
Yes, hop in. All right. Is your radar on?
It is. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay. So, what does it show the front plate as?
Front's 1YW0I664.
And so you're saying when you are running a plate, you are manually typing into the MDT run plate 1WY0I664? Okay.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. What happens if you press the up arrow on the MDT?
Sheriff, go to sleep. You need rest.
Yeah, I do.
Oh my god.
And the
Oh
back
my
arrow would
God.
be the rear radar.
That is so good. That is so good.
So that is how you would sort that out. Historically, default left arrow would turn your radar on and off. Up and down arrow is going to be front radar, rear radar. M is going to be your radar settings. Yeah, that is how. And then if you want to reset your fast speed, typically it's the tilde key, I think is how it's worded, which is above tab and to the left of 1.
Okay.
So you can very quickly reset
Sweet.
that.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Not a problem. Any other questions, don't hesitate to ask, okay?
Yeah. All good.
All right, let's call Richard. Ooh, next. Hello.
Oh,
Sorry, I couldn't answer your call. What's up?
that's fine. Are news fans exempt from traffic laws?
News? No.
No? Okay, just checking. And if I recorded crime, you want to buy it from me?
We actually have announcements regarding payment for CIs. Honey,
Wait,
why would I
really?
buy? Why would I buy footage from you?
Because it could be good footage, you know?
Well, hold on. What kind of footage?
I haven't got any yet.
Oh.
News footage of crime. You
Well,
don't
what
want
would be
that?
the going rate for something? Let's say you recorded a robbery.
I don't know. I haven't decided that yet. I don't know. I should probably tell someone else so that it doesn't affect our household income, you know?
You know what? I agree. Yeah, you need to suck from another officer's bank account.
Exactly. You know, I just went and got my stimulus check. It was $5,000.
$5,000?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Hey, it's real nice. Real
Honey,
nice.
I'm just saying, when you become dispatcher, I'm hoping it happens. Our income is going to be quite solid. So much so that, maybe we could, in the near future, move to Mirror Park or something. Who knows?
Oh, that'd be nice.
I agree.
That'd be nice.
I love Mirror Park. And, it's perfect proximity to work and whatnot. I think it'd be really nice.
I'm gonna follow these people. These people are speeding.
Don't speed with them.
They must be doing. Ah, fuck! There's a cop at the fucking light. God damn it!
What the fuck? Honey,
Why did?
don't
these
give
people
them
just
any
ran-
what the fuck? Why is that? Don't give them any excuse.
Who, the cops?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, but because you would take the excuse, so you're just giving me advice how to avoid people like you.
Well, I just clocked someone doing 56, so.
What's the speed limit again?
55 in the city, 75 on Route 68, Joshua and Sustancia. Those are the ones listed as county roads, and then
Okay.
90 on freeways.
Okay. All right. Have you got any hints about where I might be able to find some crime?
Sanitation on Alta, they get robbed all the time. Honey, don't put yourself in
Really?
harm's way, you know?
Oh, that's what you got to do for the journalism, don't you?
Oh my gosh. Don't do it, honey. Don't do it. It's not
I'll do
worth
anything
it.
for the truth.
You know what? How about you consider this after the determination on whether or not you get hired for dispatch?
No, this is my backup plan, so I got to get ready for it, you know?
Oh my god. You know what, honey? I love you and I support anything you do. Except
Okay,
the
call you
psychedelics.
soon with some
You're never doing
crime.
that again, okay?
That was an accident, okay?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
All right. All
That
right,
was
speak to you later.
disgusting, though. I love you.
Hello, bye-bye.
Okay, bye. You know, we're gonna fuck with these people. We're gonna fuck with them. Dispatch 130, 1038 southbound Buccaneer Way with a large Group 6 security truck, unsure on occupants. Engine off, windows down, please. What'd we do? Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, sir.
Hi, I'm Officer Rhodes with the Los Santos Police Department. How are y'all?
Doing good. Quite confused, but doing good.
Confused? What are you confused about? What can I help clarify?
Why you pulled us over?
I can absolutely clarify. Well, let me start off with, are you in a rush? Is there a fire? What's going on?
A rush? I was driving 55.
And you know, the reality here is I clocked you doing a blazing 56 and a 55.
I did not go 56. I always have my cruise control on.
So you have to remember, okay, that our radars may round up, but if they're rounding up, it is solely because you were above 55. Now to make that make a little more sense, the speed limit is 55, which means if you do 55.01,
what did you just do?
that is technically above the limit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So like when the radars, if they do round up, I'm assuming they do on that basis, you just got to be careful. If you want to ensure that you ain't going over, definitely do like at least one below. Okay?
Yeah, wouldn't that mean that you got 40 radar more than we got 40? You know,
No,
speedometer?
because it wouldn't read 56 if it was at 55 or below, right? But the moment you do 55.01, that's now technically illegal. Does that make
But,
sense?
You know, we got the speedometer. We lucky
Exactly.
55. You know, 55.
I understand.
55.01. You know, there's no way you can control 55.09. You know.
That's what.
55,
Yeah, but here's the thing.
but
Listen,
the
I'm
big
not
deal
gonna.
is 59, 55.09, 56. You know.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not going to issue y'all a citation. Okay. What I'm trying to do is make this a teachable moment where, although the speed limit is 55, you just want to be mindful. Okay. You want to be mindful of setting your speed limiter to 55, because if you accidentally set it, listen, it's not always just going to be at 55. What if you set it at 55 and a half? Now, every time we go and run your speed, it's rounding up to 56. You don't want to deal with that, right? And the thing is, your car ain't telling you that you're doing 55 and a half. It's just telling you 55. And then technically, again, that's over the speed limit if it's 55 and a half.
You know, we're gonna have to get some upgrades on these speedometers so we can get accurate reading, because this cannot happen.
I agree.
Exactly.
Listen, I'm a firm believer, okay? Now, I'm not going to lie. I am sitting here busting your balls, okay? Because I did clock you at 56. I'm not, like I said, it's not about issuing you a citation. I just want to inform you. That way, should you run into an officer that would issue the citation, you would know exactly why. Even though you think you're doing 55, it would technically still qualify. Okay, so just be careful with that. All right.
But you,
All right.
you, Mr. Rhodes, you're not petty like that, right?
Girl,
Like, you
what?
wouldn't just offer,
Me,
you wouldn't do
petty?
things like that, do you?
That's my middle name.
Wait.
Oh,
I mean,
so you're what? So you're
Oh,
Petty Rhodes?
I am petty. I'm very petty. But here's the thing. I'm petty to people who deserve it. People who want to
Oh.
give me attitude. Listen, if you're giving Karen, you're going to get Karen and a half back. Okay?
oh my god.
Oh no, there are no
Mhm.
Karens here. Don't worry.
Here's the reality. If you had said, you know, officer, do you not have anything better to do? Or guess what? At that point, you know, listen, y'all have been compliant this whole time, right? I'm not going to issue y'all a citation over something so small. But if you had hit me with the, you ain't got nothing better to do, you bet your ass I would have wrote a citation for 56 and a 55.
Oh yeah. You know what's sad,
100%.
officer?
What's up?
Is that most people in the city are actually like that. You know, I
It's
swear every
true.
time I get a
That's the
traffic
worst part.
stop, some guy drives by me and starts shouting at the officer outside my window. Like, why are you doing that?
Every time, without fail. I don't understand. I absolutely do not understand. And then they're all surprised when they're like, you didn't give the other people a citation. Why'd you give it to us? And it's like, well, it's because the other people treated me like an actual human fucking being, and you treated me like the scum of the earth. Why? What reason would I have to be lenient with you if you're sitting there shit talking me? None.
Very true.
Absolutely not. A lot of people fail to realize, especially when it comes to me, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend that there aren't officers who, regardless of circumstance, are going to, you know, issue you a citation or whatever it is, right? But a lot of times, if people gave us the time of day and just had a nice conversation with us, right? Instead of, I know my rights. Okay, sure, if you think so, I guess. But if people just gave us the time of day, man, just to converse with us, I'm telling you, they would have a completely different stance of the police department. But all they hear is, oh, their friend talking about, you know, issuing them $1,000 citation for speeding, and they're all upset about it. So then their friend is now upset with the police department over something that ain't got nothing to do with them. And to be clear, that friend who originally got pulled over was probably acting like an absolute Karen.
Doing some impound cleanup.
Yeah, that is true. So I think you have all the right to be petty, to be honest.
Oh, 100%. Listen, I am only petty with people who lie to me, who are, you know, don't accept responsibility for their actions. For example, in this case, it is very reasonable for you to have stated, you know, I'm a little confused. I don't really know why, right? And then I came
Right.
up here and explained exactly why, right? If you have your speed limiter set to 55, technically, if you're at 55.01 is above 55, but people
Right.
just see 55 and assume I'm within the limit, your safest bet is 54. One below, because then you're at 54 all the way to 54.99, but you're not at the 55 or anything directly above. So, but again, you were very civil, but other people would be like, no, I want to speak to a supervisor. I had my speed limiter at 55. Like, okay,
Oh,
and I
oh,
have
and-
you clocked at
and how-
56.
How many times you've heard, what's your badge number?
Oh, so many times. What's your name and badge number? 130 Matt Rhodes. Can I help you with anything else? And you want to know the funniest part? Ooh, I'm telling you, it's like fuel, adding fuel to my fire when they go, I'm not doing anything until I see a supervisor. And I sit there and go, where have you ever seen that you are entitled to a supervisor? You can reach out to one on your own time, but what sure as hell is not happening is I'm not pulling a supervisor away to come here to a traffic stop to listen to you complain about you speeding and me clocking you.
Oh.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. The reality here is, I'm not kidding. If everyone acted like y'all in a traffic stop, the amount of citations I would give out would decrease by 90% easily. But no, instead, you've said it. People go by a traffic stop and start screaming the dumbest shit for no reason. We didn't even do anything to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, because they get pulled over, the first thing that comes into their head, oh shit, great, another cop is gonna find me. You know, like most of the time, they just let you go with a warning, you know, just to be more responsible with your driving.
Exactly.
I completely understand it.
But
Even
here's
though I
here's
have a
what they're
PTSD.
doing. They're shooting themselves in the foot every time by assuming that we are just going to be like, you know, worst case scenario every time. And again, don't get me wrong. There are times where, you know, we may have something set up, let's say on Popular Street, because there's a ton of people speeding. And we may issue citations every time. But I promise you, more often than not, you treat an officer with respect, you accept responsibility for what you had done wrong. The likelihood of them being lenient, it may not be like, you know, a full, hey, you're not getting a citation, but let's say you were clocked fast enough to get second-degree speeding, they may be willing to drop it to third. I do it all the time if people are compliant. I operate on the basis that if someone doesn't have any priors and they have no warnings, right, and they were compliant, they you know, they weren't doing 100 miles an hour in a 55 type deal, I'll cut them a warning. I won't even document anything. I'll you know, slap on the wrist. Hey, don't do it again. If I catch them again, at that point I am going to issue a warning. But if I see somebody who is very frequently getting pulled over, but they were compliant in a traffic stop, again, maybe I clocked them at first-degree speeding, which is a $1,000 citation, 3 points on their license. I may reduce it down to second degree, which is $600 and 2 points on their license, right? I don't have to, but like, it's hard to look past somebody who's frequently breaking the rules of the road, right? Like they know they're intentionally doing it. It's not a mistake. Or the people who go, yeah, the brakes are just so bad on this, and I'm like, you were accelerating uphill. You were accelerating uphill. What those brakes got to do with any of that? Nothing. Like, don't lie to me, man. Please, I'm begging. But yeah, listen, I don't want to take up.
If I step out the truck, Mr. Oldman?
Oh, you can. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. But to clarify, y'all are free to go. You know, you don't have to be held up here any longer. I don't want to take up too much of y'all's time, but I appreciate.
It's okay.
I appreciate the compliance.
We thought you were protecting us for half the time.
Oh yeah. We were like, oh, are we getting an
escort? Did y'all go to the vault? Oh wait, are you going to the vault
now? Yeah, we're picking up.
Okay,
right now.
You know what? I'll head down there with y'all. Just careful. There's that black Seminole speeding down there. I'm not quite sure what they're doing. I'll head down there with y'all. And then I'll follow you guys up to the vault. Okay.
Hey,
perfect. Hey, thank you so much.
Yeah, what's
thank
up?
You, officer.
Did you serve many years ago in the department?
I did. Wait, who am I speaking to?
Do you have like amnesia, or do you remember things?
No, I
don't know.
Is this?
Some people have amnesia, you know.
Is this who I think it is?
It's me, Jimmy Chunga.
Oh my God! I knew it. Listen,
hello.
I didn't want to assume. Okay, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. You know, I'm chilling.
That's good. That's good. Did you apply to the police department? I mean, it's okay if you say, you know, if you say no, it is what it is.
You know.
You want to change in pace?
You know?
Yeah, no, I totally understand.
I don't know if, you know, this department the right fit for a guy like me. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, listen. Everyone, or not everyone, who's a police officer in the past has reapplied. Everyone's kind of doing their own thing. But you know, it is nice to see you. It is nice to see you around.
Yeah, it's good to see you. It's good to see you. I'm around, you know, chilling, doing my group 16, grinding my life away, you know, trying to buy up all the property before these criminals get it, you know.
Yeah, not wrong. Trust me, I understand.
Sell it back to them and make the profit, you know.
I understand. Trust me.
Throwing.
All right,
well, it was very good to talk to you. I just wanted to, you know, I wanted to make sure it was, you know, it was yourself and you remember, you know.
Yeah, no, totally understand. All right. I'll meet y'all. Well, I'm going to follow you to where you're going to go. Please don't do the stupid thing that everyone does and cut across. Go all the way around. I'll follow you.
All the way around. Don't worry.
162 LB code 16 San Andreas. Reference the latest 911.
Dispatch 130. I have a Group 6 truck southbound Buccaneer Way that's going to be loading up with money pallets to bring over to the vault. We'll be providing an escort down from the docks over to the vault here shortly. So chat, unfortunately, one of the discrepancies amongst the radar, I want to say, I could be wrong, could stem from how frequently it's updating. I don't know if FPS, in the past I know FPS had a lot of sort of involvement with like how fast things updated. I don't know if that's the case anymore. It could be.
Oh, we're glad you're here. This is the worst pickup it can be.
As in, like it's like super out in the open, or is it like really?
Group 6 truck.
So sometimes the open
Andreas.
better because we can
Gonna
bring the
travel
truck
to
right up to
CMC.
it. But this one is hiding in between all
okay.
the boxes, so we gotta keep her out here.
Fair enough. Totally understand.
10-4, is that one code 4?
10-9.
Is that one code 4 or are you still code 6?
San Andreas is code 4. That was the last scene reported direction. I'm gonna 76 to CMC now. Get you to make contact with the caller.
10-4 Wilder.
That's my husband.
10-4 Rhodes, did you want to call him or do you want me to call him?
You can. You can. I just want you to know he's married. Hi chat, hope y'all are doing well. Nami, thank you for the 16 months. Winter, thank you for gifting that sub.
There is a Group 6 Speedo parked out front. Attempt to locate anyone. Clear traffic tonight.
145, be advised, there's a Group 6 truck loading up cash pallets at Buccaneer Way at the moment. We'll be heading over to the vault shortly. I'll be en route there. I don't know if... I don't suspect I'll need backup, but if you could just hang around the general area, I'd appreciate it. Be advised, we just received a 911 indicating there's a robbery at Senior Buns.
162 Crusade 76.
Do you need to pick this up?
Oh shit, yeah, I do.
Yeah, don't leave it behind.
Yeah, I always forget
You're
about
good, you're
it,
good.
you know.
Is this yours right here?
I don't think so. Mr. Roadman, you happen to have a snacky? My partner is like starving.
I do not, unfortunately.
Okay.
Sorry.
We might have to make a stop.
162's en route.
Don't go to Senior Buns. Somebody just got robbed.
Oh yeah, hell no, hell no.
I'll meet y'all there. Well, I'm gonna follow you, to be clear.
The 20 was Senior Buns. Copy that.
We did just receive a 47 on San Andreas and Calais, which I suspect to be at Senior Buns. There's another 47 there seconds prior as well.
10-4, 165 23, stand by.
62 arrival.
901 just came in indicating EMS is needed at Senior Buns, but nothing too bad from the looks of it.
EMS, we're code 4 on scene. We've got 7s out front that need treatment. Actually, do we have EMS on duty?
Negative. Yeah,
Let's
no.
transport them down.
Well, they said the woman in all black was there that was trying to rob him, but there's no woman in all black here.
Still ready or good to stay with these guys for now?
162, I got one trying to carry a 47 away. He's next to the Black Seminole.
Where did this so-called robber in all black was?
Oh, yeah, no, we have her, never mind.
10-4.
go dead for blood.
My 65's going to make a report for the senior buns incident.
We got one individual in a shirt outside that says he's injured
Hey,
in the
Rhodes, how you
situation.
doing?
There's
It's
a guy in
JJ.
a grey shirt and
I'm
jeans
good. How are you?
who doesn't want to give a statement.
Good, good,
so I
good.
told him to go find his
I
own
wanted to
medical.
bring something to your attention. Like yesterday, I
Okay.
was doing Group 6, and
Mhm.
there was a blockade at the Los Santos Freeway, where they said that they were running customs and running the people dressed like officers, and they had patrol cars, and they were checking my cargo, and they seized pallets because they had a dog that apparently sniffed drugs
Do we have
on
a
it,
report
like
open
in
for
this
this?
in the pallets.
10 and 4, it's going to
But
be senior buns robbery. The latest
right now,
report graded.
I thought it was a bit
I'm
suspicious
gonna get
because
these
like
injured people,
I've never seen a
loaded up
dog
into
like
the vehicle and
canine
down
like piss on the
to
pallets, and like
Do any of them need to be
I'm pretty
detained?
sure that I
Sounds like
picked
a
up the
not
cash from.
I got
controlled.
one detained.
Not only that,
Okay, what about
we
the rest?
currently do not have any canines.
Oh,
We're detaining a woman
that makes it more
questioning
suspicious.
some individual.
All right. I'm gonna cut all of them.
Okay, so we had that. They were like in white vehicles. I don't know. I just found them. They're in Orchardville. Oh, they're definitely stealing cars. Okay. Okay, maybe they're not. Maybe they're not.
Wait,
maybe they got
This guy's
robbed.
starving to death.
So where? I'm confused.
Okay, so I was running
Was
running
this
Group
yesterday
6.
or now?
Yeah, yesterday, and now
Okay.
I see the same people, with the same patrol cars. Now I guess trying to get another one.
And
So I guess I got
where
robbed.
were they positioned yesterday?
By the Los Santos Freeway. Like,
Where?
after the
like
casino.
heading into or out of the city?
Out of the city, like going like, on
heading
the
north?
Lane. Yeah, yeah.
Would anybody be bringing pallets that way?
Yes. Any truck, any Group 6 truck that is going up north, or any like for Humane Labs, or any random.
Oh, wait, but if they're
bag
going to
shop.
Humane, aren't they grabbing bags or pallets from there?
Yes, but I had I had 3 pallets from another job that I had to return still, and they quote unquote seized them because apparently they had traces of cocaine, which I picked them up from the government, so I doubt it
Well,
had
if I was gonna
cocaine.
try the first set of
Maybe they
3,
could have,
there's a bunch more
but
people.
now that you said that they
And
don't
what
have
vehicle were they in?
looks like a white patrol, kind of like 4-door, like those little mini electric cars. Like I'm trying to
Silver,
think
how
what the
many
name
do you have
is.
in your car?
Patrol
They look
4-door.
like it's like a
Bring
hatchback
in another
4-door.
47. I'll go with you.
Like a Surge?
Yes, Surge. That's the name of the car. And they have like a gray Lampadati, and they were trying to steal a car by Orchardville right now.
What kind of car are they trying to steal?
Another patrol car. So they
What
are
does it
rolling with
actually
like a
say on those cars?
just patrol.
Really?
Yeah. It's like a white one. So I thought it was.
I will be
thought it
at
was
the
some
vault
sort of-
shortly. I'll meet you there. I gotta check something real quick.
So it was like some customs. Like I thought it was customs, and I was a bit sussed out. But I didn't think too much of it. And then I was the highest rank in Group 6, so I was like, well, I guess I'll just write it down and save it for later. And now I just saw them trying to steal another car, which it raised my alarm, which I wanted to call you about it.
Right. Yeah. No, that doesn't sound legitimate at all. Especially
Yeah.
if they're having to steal. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm pulling
did you
onto
just do? Started putting
Orchardville
patients
now.
in the,
One moment.
Trauma room. I don't know if there's any doctors yet. But I'll just get them all inside first, and then take people to K.
There's no doctors either?
I'm not sure. I haven't checked yet. There weren't any earlier.
Okay. The vehicle they were taking, was it occupied or was it parked on the side of the road?
It was parked like across like one of the sanitation spots, I guess, like near Orchardville and Innocence.
Oh, I see.
162 arrival.
Just so you know, I wanted to alert you because now that I saw them again and they were pretty doing some sus shit, I was like, okay, maybe I did get robbed. And my pallets did not get seized; they just got taken.
Got it.
That's two people.
So that's
in the
a
front room. One of
dilettante.
the people in my car.
Dilettante, yes,
Assume I'll be
dilettante.
back.
Sorry.
And what color Lampadati were they in?
Like a light gray.
Light gray. Okay, interesting. I'll let officers know. I'm heading up to the vault now because I was following a Group 6 truck up there, and then you told me, so I swooped down back. I want to make sure I get to the vault before anything happens.
I got you.
But thank you for the heads up. I appreciate it.
Hey, no worries. Take care, Mr. Rhodes, all right?
You as well. Bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Dispatch 130, be advised. I just received reports that yesterday there was a situation where people in dilettante vehicles, which are like a small hatch hybrid that had a livery that said patrol along the side, were stopping Group 6 security trucks, indicating that they had a K9 that was hitting on the things within the security trucks at a checkpoint and then seizing the cash pallets and bags that they had. They also just told me that they just saw these individuals now over on the south side off of Orchardville stealing one of those patrol vehicles. And I did find one off of Orchardville in Innocence. The windows look shattered and whatnot, but keep that in mind. It seems like an attempt at a scam here.
In the Senor Bun situation, apologies, it was loud in the training room.
No, unrelated to Senior Buns. Wait, do you want me to repeat?
Possibly, yeah. I need to go and pick up somebody that I lost from my car.
I will 311 because I know all of y'all are probably dealing with a million people there.
Sorry, it was just very loud. In the
No,
room.
you're good. You're good. I'll 311 so y'all can read it on your own time. All right, I have 311. So when y'all have free time, make sure you look at that.
Is anyone able to respond to that last 911?
Seems to be off of Orchardville. 130 will be en route shortly. Hey guys, I have to leave.
No
how
worries,
many
we're
y'all
almost
got?
done, it's
Okay, all right, perfect.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Rodman.
No problem. 130 en route. That's going to be at the exact location where I saw that white patrol dilettante.
Oh, that was what we were dealing with yesterday. They ended up running from police after we found that they were scamming reports from Group 6 drivers. individuals yesterday involved roads. Neither one of the individuals were fully identified. We can never get the full ID, but they were. Once we said they were detained, they started running to a grey and colour four-door. I think it was Lampadati, and they did.
A-firm. 130,
Myself and Maisie were watching them for a good 20 minutes, and they were pulling people over. They had police barriers at one point that I had earlier taken away while they were on the Great Ocean Highway doing pretty much the same thing. And they called me telling they were moving.
Break. Individuals got a firearm on Orchardville holding up sanitation workers. Getting into a white and collar Lampadati.
I'm just running.
Active 80, white Lampadati, southbound to Orchardville. Traffic light, weather clear, speeds 90. Right, westbound, El Rancho.
Be advised, there's only one officer in CT right now. We definitely need more units there to help the statements and whatnot. I'm en route to your location, roads.
A-firm, right, westbound Carson. Right, oh, disregard, continue westbound Carson. U-turn, eastbound Carson. Right, southbound Dutch London. RO for the vehicle is a Chris McCall or McCool. Vehicle flag 1060. Right, northbound in the alley that runs in between Roy Lowe, Jamestown Street. Continuing northbound, crossing McDonald, approaching Innocence. Right, an immediate left, northbound, Little Bighorn. Again, oh God! One of the individuals, unsure which in that vehicle, has a firearm. Continuing northbound, Little Bighorn. 130 secondary. Left, westbound, Capitol. Left, southwest, Davis. Right, westbound, Innocence.
It looks like they're wearing the same outfits as yesterday.
A-firm, I got a call from JJ indicating that's what happened. Left, westbound through the alley, running parallel to Innocence Boulevard. Continuing westbound towards Power. And right, northbound Power. Left, westbound through the smaller alleyway leading towards Alta. Left, southbound through the alleyways by the original Benny's. Left, eastbound towards Power, VCB.
Southbound towards Forum. I cannot keep up with this car in this corner.
They're continuing through the alley towards Strawberry. The VCB, stand by. I have no visual. Got no visual. I'm going to hold Davis and McDonald. They could be in the little parking area. Stand by.
I can't that car doing those kinds of maneuvers in a CVPI.
Stand by. Just had boxes fall down in the alley that run parallel to the car wash. I'm going to check behind the Lucky Plucker. It's possible they made an immediate right and I didn't see it. They had distance. But most people take that turn, so I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I'm VCB. Yeah, all units be on the lookout for a white in color Lampadati, occupied at least 2 times, one of which is armed.
Do we have anyone that can authorize a Taurus? Because if everyone's using that car at the moment, I don't know why we would have a CVPI.
130 cannot. The only officer on duty that can right now is Turner.
Copy that.
Don't talk about that, chat. Didn't happen. Ooh. Lag coming down here. Why is that local running? What the fuck? Okay, I couldn't go over the thing. It is possible that the sanitation workers were not robbed, because when they heard the sirens, they started to scatter. But as I was pulling up, I heard, put your hands up. On 3076 to Orchardville and El Rancho. Correction, Innocence. That's where the patrol vehicle was.
Ready to check.
And 2.
165. Do you guys need assistance down at the hospital?
Come on.
You can't do that.
I know. I changed my mind on where we're going. Apologize.
Jesus, please don't do that.
I didn't mean to do it. I do apologize.
Not a problem. Don't let it happen again, please.
Dispatch 145, we still need 77s to the hospital. There's 2 of us here and like 6 people that need interviewing.
130, 76.
165. I just got a interview off one of the people that witnessed the whole thing, and she's keen to do a lineup as well if need be.
Dispatch 130, be advised, there's a motorcycle that's in the emergency lane area of the hospital. It's a little further to the east towards Davis. It was a 1060 motorcycle. The individual is masked up. I don't know if they did anything to the PD vehicles that were around the corner, but just make sure all cars are locked, please.
165-23 hospital.
Oh my gosh, we forgot about the person up in Toledo.
One 145 from 165 direct.